I was asked how to stop ruminating and how to actually raise the level, not of consciousness, but of my microphone when I'm recording a video. I was asked how to stop ruminating, and so I thought I would bring in some of the insights actually that we gained together within the I Now Feel Positive monthly Zoom call. So coming up in this video, some actual practical things that you can do to get out of your head and start actually making progress to live a better life, to stop going through that negative spiral of overthinking and ruminating over the past issues. Coming up. What's up, legend? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology, where I help geeks, gamers, and creatives to live a better life through personality type, through personal growth models, through self-understanding, through finding your true character and leveling it up so you can play life better, through all those things. And so let's just kind of jump right into like what is the issue with ruminating? Why is it a problem? Why does it come about? From my own personal experience, when I get stuck in a loop of like just overthinking the same and like overplaying the same tape again and again, that loop in my head, it's usually because I did not take the actions that I wanted to in the moment. I talked to somebody and the encounter kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't really like how I presented myself. I didn't like what they said to me or the tone that they said it or anything like that. And then I just kind of capture it and I reflect over it myself without the other person even being involved. And it's just this loop of me playing all the different characters and all in a negative way. I hope that made sense. So the first domain that I want to talk about here is the physical domain. Go for a walk, go for a run, do some sort of physical exercise, because that's going to change your breathing. And when you change your breathing, that impacts your physiology, which impacts your state, the total mindset and experiences and emotions and everything that have come into play in that moment is your state. So changing your breathing is going to change your physiology, which is going to change the state that you're in, which is going to impact your performance and change that. Sit up straight and you take some deep breaths in, and you're paying a lot of attention to your breath. You're changing your posture, right? Your physiology, which is going to then put you into a better mind state and heart state, if you want to think of it like that, which is going to lead you to take different actions. And if you take different actions, then you're going to get different results. If you get different results, then you're going to change the cycle, change the system at play. So in order to change your breathing, breathe in for a count of 7 and out for a count of 11. That's the best one that I've found. You want longer exhales because it slows your heart rate a bit and helps you kind of maintain control over your physiology. Okay, breathing, go for a walk, run, exercise, take a shower. You tend to loosen up when you take a shower. You connect to extroverted sensing, introverted intuition as well. If that's jargon talk for you, I'm just saying that you kind of get into your body and you overwhelm your body with a bunch of sensations, which lets your brain find an insight. And you know that from like shower thoughts, where you're just like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea. I should just take more showers. As I'm looking at my hair, I did shower. I promise. And the other domain of things is to get new perspectives. So not just the physical world, not just your own perspectives, but get other perspectives. Go talk to somebody that's going to give you a radically different opinion than what you have. Because if you're just seeking confirmation, then you're not going to get out of that rumination. You're not going to break the cycle. So you want to create new sources, to create new feedback. It's like if you Google, like, am I dying? because I have this issue. Well, if that's what you're searching for, if that's like the search parameter, then you're probably going to find stuff that answer that with a yes, right? So you want to go look for things that are going to be maybe a counterintuitive insight, or some sort of counter feedback to what you're already thinking and feeling. Go talk to a kid, go talk to a grown-up, an adult, somebody older than you, somebody younger than you, somebody from a different walk of life, whatever it is, and just kind of pick their brain about it. And even imagine how they would do it too. Imagine talking to Iron Man. What would he say? What would he do? He's probably got bigger and better things to deal with than ruminating, but maybe not. I don't know. Next, to journal. To put your own thoughts and ideas and musings onto a piece of paper is very therapeutic, as you probably know. And you can also do it in a dialogue form, where you are talking as different characters involved in that rumination. So you could write from your own perspective in your normal writing, and then you could write from maybe the other person's perspective in all capital letters, right? And then you could write from a third person's perspective in cursive or print writing or something like that, or a different color. Just pick up a different crayon or something like that. I don't know why crayons. Maybe not everybody writes in crayons all the time. Changing how you're thinking about things by getting it out there, expressing it instead of just looping in your head through a journaling process. Another thing that you can do is to take a step back and just do something completely different. Just go do some sort of activity that's going to get you out of that environment where you're stuck ruminating. And this is tied to physical stuff, but it could also be like, I'm going to just do a puzzle. I'm going to do some craft or some art or something like that. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to, study something new, read a book or something like that, right? Like just do something differently engaged so that you're not able to think about the problem so often, again and again and again. I mentioned within the INFP, I Now Feel Positive call, that when I used to breakdance, I was trying to stick a 1990 or something like that, and I couldn't do it, and it was driving me nuts, and I was getting angry, and I was bringing that anger, the angry state, into my performance. And my teacher looked at me and he said, you need to change this. You need to take a break. You need to think about it differently. You need to just, give yourself some time to process all this stuff so that you're not grounding in the negative habits and the negative thoughts again and again. And then come back to it with that fresh perspective, and then you'll be able to do it. That's definitely been one important lesson throughout my life for a lot of different things. It's essentially the meta pattern within neurolinguistic programming. It's to associate into a bad state, to dissociate from it, put it over there, go do something else, right? Like, I'm feeling all pissed off and angry right now. Okay, go do something else, shake it off, right? Get into a better state, change your breathing, change your mindset, listen to some music that you want, and then come back to that negative state and collapse it. So essentially you're crushing the negative state with positivity, and that is going to help you kind of break loose of those neural pathways that are just constantly firing together, and you're adding in more options, and more options leads to better progress and potential and growth. And the one last thing that you can do with this is to figure out what's actually causing the stress in the first place. Think about it. Just stop for a second and say, like, what's the actual problem here? Like, I know I'm angry at this person, but why? Like, why is that thing that they said really triggering me right now? And don't blame it on them. Blame it on, look inside of yourself to find the answer for that. Because if you just blame everything on the outside world, then, well, you're always going to find some excuse to put it out there. But if you take it internally and say, like, okay, this thing that they said that angered me, why did it anger me? What inside myself is attaching a meaning to this that maybe doesn't need to have happen, or maybe this person is not right for me, but why am I connected to them in this way? What is a thing that I could do to break loose of this, to shake things up, to change my environment through my own willpower, right? For me to assert myself in some way, for you to move to another place, or find new friends, or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know the exact situation, so I can't say too much about it. But there's something that you can do to impact the situation, right? A hero in a game never just lets all this stuff happen and say, well, the world's over, there's nothing I can do about it. They step up and they make intentional effort to impact the world, to change the things that are wrong. And a lot of times I think we don't really step up in that degree, right? We don't step up to that level. So looking at, what's causing the problem in the first place? Should I just let it go? Is this just a thing that happens and there's really nothing I can do about it and it doesn't really matter anyway? Bring in some stoicism. Or is it time to actually take a stand and make a change? And if it is, then you got to go from there into goal setting or just take an action, just do something. I know I've given you a lot of different tips, different things to think about for the next time that rumination comes up or any issues like that. But really just think about getting a physical change, changing your state, changing your breathing, and getting a new perspective. And those two things can drastically change how you are dealing with the situation. And if it's somebody that you can talk to, go talk to them. Like, figure it out by actual communication instead of bringing in your own mind reading into the situation, because that's caused me so many issues in my past. So that's one thing that you should avoid. I highly recommend avoiding just making assumptions all the time. Keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Comment down below, let me know what helped you, and peace.